Welcome back, everybody. Little four-dimensional chess. Not really, but I figured I'd throw that up there. I haven't put that up there in a very, very, very long time. So this is my monthly live stream, hour-long, nothing prepared, just me talking out of my cake hole with nothing important to say, or I don't know. It's more interaction with the diehards. The diehard Darkleys, I guess, but I don't know if I ever fully adopt that. But let's see what we have. Let's see. All right, I think that's where we were. Spider Bite, Fast Mama Jamma. Oh, okay, that's where I left off. Fast Mama Jamma was saying I was changing fork oil today on my bike. I have no idea what that means. I appreciate that spiritual ascension. I love the Aussies too. Okay, Spider Bite, another Aussie says indeed. All right, Fast Mama Gemma, it is a live stream. Yes, indeedy, it is a live stream. Oh yeah, I mean I only caught tails of it, but it's whiffs of it, but it sounds like the victims are actually just like, screw the globalists or whatever you want to call them. You know, screw the corrupt elite. We're just gonna tell you who's on the list. We're just gonna tell you who the clients are. Good luck. Yeah, we'll see. We will see what happens with that. Intro. Thank you, Fleabitus. Or Bitus. Hey, Spider Bite. Bring on the freestyle. Huh. Fast Mama Gemma said, I've been getting better at lucid dreaming. I'm not going to say what you were using though, because God knows that YouTube will think I'm giving medical advice or something. Yeah, that's creepy. Fast Mama Gemma saying that some victims can't remember. Oh, Ozzy. I got it. Ozzy. The Aussies. Um, like Mozzie. Aussie. Anyway, not a great, not a great Aussie accent, but close enough. Let's see. How's your going outside with quieting your mind going? You saw on the last. I don't know if you saw on the last live stream that I showed the two owls that just showed up on the roof next door. Did I did I show you that video? So yeah, it's nothing like I would say supernatural, but just the animal things are getting weirder and weirder. But that's about it. But lots of owls constantly. Hey, good to see you, Timepiece Adventures. He doesn't answer his public emails on the zombie line. Is saying, how do I contact Lynn Buchanan? He doesn't answer his public emails on his website. I think that's the one I use. Hold on. Oh, well, I'll just play it here again if people want to see it. I have it. Yeah, I'll just play it here again. It'll annoy some people, but there's, this is a smaller stream, so I have more flexibility on this one. So let's see. You have to find it. Come on, here we go. Here we go. Pull that up. That. There it goes. There we go. August 13th. This is when these happened. So let's pull up the first one. All right, here's the first one. This is always tricky when I'm trying to navigate this. Let's see. Share screen. There we go. Now I got to see what this looks like. All right, so you see that little spot right there? That's the great horned owl. And I'll zoom in later, but this just shows that this happened at the same time. Okay. All right, then we'll do the second one. Let me just make sure it's the right one. Yep, this is about the right order. All right, so you can see the same owl, right? All right, so let me just play it. I'm just going to speed it up because it's a little. Let's see the eyes here. Let's look at those talons. All right, that's probably good enough for that one. Close the window. And I still have plenty more, but let me, this is the same night, August 13th. Here we go. Share screen. Oh, crap. I jumped the gun before pulling out the video. There we go. Same night. Okay. Let me see if the other one has anything like this. Oh yeah, it sure as heck does. Okay. This is before the last one that I showed you. This is like right before. Okay. You can see them from afar. All right. That's it. So what do y'all think? That happened August 13th of this year. So let's see. Here we go. Thank you, Spiritual Ascension. All right. So Spider Bite writes, is it way more owls than usuals over the years? They must be watching you for either protection or they're spying on you. Yes, it's way more. So I think I may have seen like a baby owl inside a coyote's mouth the first time I ever saw an owl, and that was like in 2000, late 90s, 2000 in the Mojave Desert. And then I didn't see another owl until 2021. And then in 2022, that's when I started hearing them constantly. And so ever since I started this channel, I've seen more owls in the last 3 years than I've seen in my entire life, easily. Well, it was twilight. That's when they typically come out, spiritual ascension. So it wasn't like it was in the evening at twilight, and that they're sometimes they start to hunt at twilight. Yeah, they're. Oh yeah, spiritual ascension. Also, I found a great horned owl feather in my yard like last week. But I'm not allowed to keep it because of the Migratory Bird Act of 1918. So I did not keep it. I do not have it. It is. You're supposed to put it back out in the wild, otherwise it's a $15,000 fine. Not joking. The worst owls are the ones that have to fly back to the monitor van for battery charges. No, it's not my roof. It's a neighbor's roof. So yeah, that's not my roof. Again, it's not daytime. It's twilight. It's like, oh boy, that's not something to be obsessed with if you're a parrot. I think that's a juvenile. I looked it up and I thought that I mean, the buddy came to him. So initially it was just him or her. I don't know, but this is the season of fledglings, and basically, according to what I read, is that sometimes they'll beg. Right, they're still learning to hunt, so they'll go to the parent and beg. So I think the smaller one was when it was hooting at the bigger one. I think it was just begging for food. Yeah, they're big owls. They are big. Those things are like 2, 3 feet tall. They're big. Yeah, I just had a feeling to stand up and look up, and there they were. And I can't remember if it was that night or the night before. There was a red-shouldered hawk. I saw one of them earlier in the day, and then I saw and I have pictures too. I think I saw that other owl again on the same roof on a different day. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Bird is the word. I don't know if it's a music video clip, but there's a scene from Full Metal Jacket when they're like going off into through some like war torn area in Vietnam. Bird is the word video clip. No, I can't actually, because if I play Bird is the word, like if I play that video clip, I'll get a like a copyright strike or something like that. You can't mess with music on YouTube. Right, and it's fair, it's just protecting the copyrights holder, so I don't wanna get a copyright strike. Yeah, yeah. If I still had it, I would show it to you. I did not read Forbidden Science 6 from Jacques Vallée, but I should. Is it relevant in this situation? Yeah, it's 15, yeah, look it up. It's called the Migratory Bird Act of, 1918. It's ridiculous, and it's not if you grab an owl and start, like, shedding it and, like, torturing it to get the feathers. It also applies to if you find a feather of like a predatory bird or something like that on the ground, they can fine you $15,000 per feather. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I guess in 1918 people were like hunting birds and then just to remove their feathers. So they had to kind of come up with something extreme. Oh, is it for turkey and geese too? I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, wow. So Forbidden Science 6 has all the names in it and the whole plan. From 2016 onwards. Good reading about TTSA. Interesting. Yeah, of course it's a dog and pony show. They're not going to reveal Jack. In fact, if you want to really see what's going on, go to uh, Future Forecasters website, and there's a video by Dick Algier that talks about how the system really works. Just watch that video. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, just watch that video. Oh, wow. In some states, it is okay to have a pet squirrel, but it's restricted. That's not great. It's not good at all. Not good at all. All right, so I don't know how we got into owls, but let me see if there's something else. Hold on. Go to photos. Oh, yeah, it's a little bit less helpful. Oh, I guess I didn't. I don't think I even downloaded the. I see them so much. Let me see if I can. Where would this be? Let's see. Yesterday. Yeah, so the second time I saw that owl, I think was on the was on the 27th. So let me share this actually. Let me find the best picture. Bear with me. So this is on the 27th of August. I didn't even bother to categorize or put this one away. But this is just a. I didn't record a video. But this is a red-shouldered hawk. Same rooftop. Okay. And then, oh crap, where did it go? Here we go. I think. Here we go. This picture isn't as good. So same night as the 27th. Same roof as the red-shouldered hawk. Same roof that this guy was there the night, 2 weeks prior, or maybe 13 days prior, actually. 13 days? 2 weeks, 14 days. All right, let me look at the comments. Okay, Project MK Often, Sirius writes, the CIA designed to explore the world of black magic and harness the forces of darkness and challenges the concept that the inner reaches of the mind are beyond grasp. Yeah, it's hard to find stuff on MK Often, actually. There's like a book, but it's out of print. So you have to like pay a ridiculous amount of money for this book that's like not great. Yeah, squirrels will bite. Absolutely. Huh. So spiritual ascension's writing, they are flocking in to be acknowledged. That ain't no coincidence. Yeah, yeah, and I'm seeing like all sorts of ravens and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I've never seen a bald eagle out here. All right. Good night, Sirius. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I'm big fan of owls. All right. What do you think about all these people who think they have been MK Ultra? I don't know. All I know is all these like uh, pew pews that we're seeing recently. It feels to me like it's a they're trying to disarm the populace, so they're creating these events that make, and then you have all these politicians talk about taking away gun rights and things like that in the United States. That's a big no-no, man. I mean, after it was done during the pandemic, we ain't giving up weapons. Come take them, right? So I don't know. Yeah, MK Ultra was the real deal. So they've probably advanced it in like major ways recently. Anything else crazy going on in the news? I haven't had time. I've just been working solidly. Oh boy, something about increasing Palantir surveillance. Unbelievable. Actually, let's look that up. I'm curious. That's bad. Bad news. Oh wow. So JP Morgan used Palantir to spy on employees. Although I don't see much. It's just like up like 500% this year. But that's if you're like, you're counting on the government contracts and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Why do you say that, spiritual ascension? You said prepare for some intense disclosure in the weeks to come. You got to say more. Hey, Sanity and Shadows. I didn't know I was your favorite streamer. Well, welcome. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right, so Fast Mama Gemma they talked about using Israeli tech to prevent those killing of children, analyzing social media behaviors. So Spiritual Ascension is asking also, what are your thoughts on 3-1 Atlas? It's too early to tell. The fact that it's self-illuminating is a little weird. And I have a whole episode with John Brandenburg on September 22nd coming out. So he thinks it's reconnaissance of some sort. I just don't know. There's so much disinformation out there, it's hard for me to tell. Palantir's The Dark Resurrection of John Poindexter's 1980 era TIA that Congress killed. Yeah. To be frank, I just remember the dollar is going, a lot of exposure of the dark side. Well, yeah, it's certainly coming out with the Epstein victims. All right, so Fast Mama Gemma saying 3i is about to go into hiding for a month, but Mars will see it, and we got satellites on Mars. Yeah, but if it were something really nefarious, do you think the powers that be would actually share that with us? So Spiderbite writes, a CPL of years ago, a cloud out front had a distinctive metal 90-degree corner. Saw a photo of it on Leak Project from this area. Same thing I saw. Spiritual Ascension writes, yeah, I call BS on 3-1 Atlas, but that's just me. Yeah, I don't know. People in equal vehemency say it's just a comment. Other people say it's the very opposite of a comment. I don't know. I'm just going to wait until it comes, and then we'll know when it passes. We might never. Oh, sorry, we might never know because they won't tell us the truth anyway. As a forward-facing tail, what does that mean? That's weird. Yep, we shall see. That's right. Same thing with all these predictions in 2026 and 2027. Either something will happen or it won't. And then we'll know if the prediction was true. Yep. 3i nickel and carbon signatures, which is interesting. Ugh. Sorry, it's a long, long day. So you got the plasma shoots out the front, kind of opening the way for it to travel through. It's all possible. My tail is facing the sun up, yeah, which is weird. All right, good to see you, Spiritual Ascension. Thank you. All right, what else is going on? I don't know, I'm so tired. By the way, oh yeah, so if you think you're subscribed and you continue to enjoy this channel, please double check that you are subscribed and that YouTube did not pull a plug on you for whatever reason, algorithmic failure or something otherwise. If you watch this channel regularly and you enjoy it, but you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, hit like, share, all that good stuff. Maybe don't want to share this because this is more niche for kind of my core audience, but definitely like so that it gets some views. All right, what else? I never even said welcome. I completely forget I had these like random things. Anyway. Oh, there's like 7 comments that I missed while I was doing that. Okay. Hey, Scott. Good to see you. We're not talking about any. We were talking about Three Eye Atlas. Before that, I was showing the owls on my roof. Not my roof, but the neighbor's roof. Uh, the usual stuff. All right. Again, have a great day, Spiritual Ascension. Yeah, there's a new whistleblower that's been approved by the Pentagon. Can't wait. I can't wait for that one. I'm telling you, just watch the Dick Algier's video on future forecasters, and that will tell you everything you need to know. All right, last name best. He goes to MIT and he is special forces. He goes to MIT. Huh. And his former, well, who knows? Yeah, floor's open, Scott. And I'm tired for whatever reason. What else is going on in the world? I'm curious. I just haven't had time to even look at the news or anything. Not that you can trust it, but let's see. Oh, that's interesting. So, you know how much of a fan I am of Vetted, but he just tweeted, "This is interesting. This is interesting." I'm just going to read it. Spider Bite, right? I honestly don't care about what's going on in the world. Yeah, I'm kind of tired of it too. MIT is always sus. Trump's uncle from MIT hid the Tesla secrets. Okay, so let me see. Let me see what this thing says. I'm not going to show it because that's weird. But he writes, and I'm not gonna comment on it, but he might be right here. So Vetted writes, it's funny how the moment I asked a couple of questions about UAP GERB on my channel, I got hit with the biggest onslaught of bots I've ever received covering anyone. Anyone in all caps. Just saying, that's weird. Yeah, he's not accusing of UFO GERB about anything. It's just he's just noting the anomaly for whatever reason. All right, let's see. And interesting. It's very interesting. Sanity Thanos. I'm not going to say that out loud, but people can read it. Yeah, I know. UAP Gerb was in. Yeah, he's one of those guys that just you're like, what? All right. I don't have an opinion of the guy. It's just like some people just go from zero to hero much faster than I do. So that's all I have to say about UFO Gerb. I don't really. There's nothing to dislike about him, but he just kind of came out of nowhere and went. Next thing you know, he's on Danny Jones. Let's see. Fed is getting nice. Well, he has to. You can't grow past a certain point if you annoy people, right? But he got there by being toxic. I shouldn't say toxic, but by being controversial. That's the right way. By like stirring controversy, that's how he got there so fast. The problem is that is a dominant strategy for rapid growth, but it is not a dominant strategy for sustainable growth. So I'm sure he got to the point where he realized he has to pivot and kind of make friends with people, which is reversible. But whereas the way I'm growing is just like slow as molasses. But I think it'll be sustainable, maybe, right? It's good not to try to piss people off. So, all right. So Scott Ian saying, any new news on T moving Space Force to Alabama? Rumors of underground bases and UFO zero-point energy product that have been ongoing for years there. I watched the Dick Algier video. It'll tell you everything you need to know. So it's just called like Who Owns the Earth? It's called something like that. So it's very interesting. But he also has knowledge that is not just from remote viewing. So some of it, a lot of it's from remote viewing, but the guy's got some knowledge. So Fast Mama Jam is saying, I got family in Alabama, but they don't talk to me about UFOs. Well, I think Huntsville is like a big NASA town. That's why you would move Space Force to Alabama. Although it's probably one of those like hot, sticky places because it's like right in the south and near the Gulf of America. Apparently, the Gulf. I still can't say that. It's ridiculous. All right, what else we got going on? Anything else worth highlighting or talking about? Because I can't think of anything at the moment. I'm just kind of again, this is for a smaller group, so I don't really come with any agenda or anything specific to talk about. And this one's usually much shorter. So, by the way, my channel finally like started reverting to where it was a year ago in terms of views in August. So maybe there is hope, but we will see. Let's see. Oh, so Sanity and Shadows, right? Frater Eleftheria, basically, his interviews were really well done. The way he talks about angels and demons is very new to me, and I'm having trouble even grasping it. But I find it really interesting. Thank you, Sanity and Shadows. I really appreciate that. Yeah, him using the whatchamacallit, the earbuds was not great for his mic, but so Fast Mama Joe was also saying there's more Tic Tac UFO evidence recently. Well, hey, it's saucer season. This is when all the UFOs come out, right? The drones. So the drones. We're at the beginning of saucer season. So Fast Mama Gemma saying, I think the MIT guys saw 4 Tic Tacs. Interesting. Yeah, Scott Ian saying, I've had some interesting guests lately. Yeah, thank you. Actually, another interesting one just reached out to me, so I'm going to interview him tomorrow. I don't know if you will have heard of him, but he might be the channel's entree into how like DMT and stuff like that. Oh, it went well. I got 2 episodes. They're not posted yet. I'm still audio. So Spider Bite, I think you recommended it. How did it go with Michael, the Dream Man, the soul retrieval guy? It went well. I had no idea the guy's got like a PhD in computational chemistry from Berkeley. I was surprised by that. I'm like, all right, this guy's legit. This guy's definitely legit. So yeah, we had a good discussion. We talked. I have 2 episodes. I just audio has been edited. I just have to edit the rest of it and then post them. Any of your guests have a voice that guides them like Socrates? I have no idea, Fastman Majama. No idea. Yeah, he's definitely he's like an OBE kind of expert. Um, and he's the stuff he says is tracks with what the remote viewers were saying about why they don't use OBEs to spy on people. What he said was kind of congruent with that. I.e., when you're doing OBEs, you're not full like you don't have your full mental faculties basically. So Sanity and Shadow said, you ever look into the DMT laser experiment where they say you see code with a certain type of laser when I haven't looked into it deeply, but I've heard about it. I've definitely heard about it. So yeah, it should be pretty interesting. What else do folks want to talk about? Oh, it's quiet. Come on. No one's got any questions? No curiosity? Oh, the other thing I'm doing right now is I'm just compiling a bunch of my old like short stories and I'm going to put them into 2 collections. And then, obviously I have my prior collection, which is already out. It's called Alien Abattoir and Other Stories. If you're into that, knock yourself out. But I have 2 more that I'm just kind of finishing up. I do like an essay after each story talking about where the inspiration came from or the idea and all that good stuff. But uh, then I have to get kind of the cover done. But I hope to release both of them sometime this year, just to get that stuff out into the ether. But I thought you'd want to know that I've been working like crazy on a number of different projects to. Again, I would love to do this full time for a living, but I'm just throwing out as many different ways as possible so I can maybe strike lightning at some point. Okay, so Sanity and Shadows, right? When you look at things like alien abductions, how physical do you think they actually are? I think some of them are very physical, and I think many of them are kind of astral. So Scott Ian is saying, "I have a short story. Do you take submissions for a future cut?" I'm not working on any anthologies. I just it's just a collection of my personal short stories. So stuff that I sold previously to other magazines. So they're good enough that somebody else said, I want to pay you money for it, but also the rights have reverted back to me. So I just want to consolidate them all in one place. So Spider Bite says, Sean, did you see any ghosts, broad terms overseas? Never. It's not something I've ever seen. Nothing that I can recall. The only thing I've ever seen otherworldly, but I am 99.9% certain it was it was just a hallucination because of exhaustion. When I was in military training, we went for like 10 days or a week, something like that, with 10 hours of sleep total. So maybe 2 hours a night. And toward the end of that, when I was kind of in struggling to stay awake, in my Humvee, I looked to my left and I saw a leprechaun that was talking to me. But it was clear it had to have been a hallucination where I was just dreaming or whatever because I was just literally sleep deprived. So, but that's what happens when you're sleep deprived. Hey, Jason H, good to see you. Huh. So Spider-Bite writes, I should send you a photo I have of the interdimensional thing I took a couple of years ago. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Definitely, it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, but I don't see or witness weird stuff. The only stuff that happens to me, synchronicities, precognitive dreams, rarely, but sometimes, and then just weird bird behavior. So, right where you just see owls just kind of hanging out on the roof. They see me and they're like, "Yeah, whatever." I I'm assuming that's normal, but I don't, maybe it's not. I don't know. Yeah, they're always yeah, and it's always something that's got nothing to do with me. Sanity and shadows. Yeah, it writes I have precognitive cognitive dreams all the time, but they are of the most mundane things. 100%. 100%. And usually they have nothing to do with me. There'll be some random event. One was like a labor strike in Missoula, Montana that happened. I was at Starbucks and I saw the uniforms and also Amazon and I saw the orange from the Amazon stuff. So it definitely does happen. But you have to prove it to yourself. And I also will write them in my community tab. That's typically where I record them so that I can demonstrate that I had the dream before the event. Okay, so Spider Bite said I screenshot a dude's photo and zoomed on a face looking from behind a tree. It's the exact same face as the interdimensional UFO photo I took. Interesting. Yeah, Fast Mama Gemma sending I've been dreaming hard. Yeah, by the way, Michael Lee that I interviewed, he is also like a lucid dreamer. Sanity and Shadow says for me it's scenes of roads I drive down or places I'll just randomly remember, oh yeah, I dreamed of that this very briefly. Hey, Jalay Jalal, it's been a while. Good to see you. Yeah, it's been. We got 9 minutes left though, because I have a lot of work to do that's not getting done right now. But it is the beginning of the month, so I always try to do this live stream in the first Wednesday of the month because I like to front load work and I get my work out of the way. Lots of ways to how. Well, I think you mentioned earlier how you forced it. You were taking two different drug regimens, which I'm not going to repeat because YouTube. Because who knows? Oh, you buy them on Amazon? Interesting. I know, but you got to be like, can you write them? Well, no, I'm not even going to ask that because God knows if the AIs are reading stuff. All right, Spiderbite says, when I emailed Michael, he was kind enough to answer a few questions I had about some lucid dreams I have. Have Michael back for a live. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I should have some live Q&As. Soul Light US expat, have you thought about getting Hugh Newman or Jim Vieira on Talk About Giants since they wrote 2 books on the subject, even Terry Carter? I have not thought about it, but I can definitely check that out. Yeah, some of these topics I just kind of come up with, like, just like what can I come up with very quickly so I have something to talk about. All right, what else is going on? I think I've said this on several uh, or live streams, but I am now also a host on the future forecasting group. So I think I'm doing like one video a week with them. I know it's like an hour. It's not It's not a huge lift. I don't have to edit anything or anything like that, which takes most of the time. I just kind of go through targets for a group of 4 remote viewers every week, and man, they are crazy good. They are crazy good. And each time I sit down with them, they shock me. I don't want to say too much because none of this stuff is aired, but it's creepy how accurate these guys, these cats are. I mean, it is creepy. So anyway, so definitely check that out. Yeah, thank you, Spider-Bite. I appreciate you helping me find some stellar guests. Oh wait, videos of tobacco patch for. Oh, all right. Sorry, I'm going backwards here. Yeah. So anyway. Any topics that you all think I should cover that I have not covered yet? So, I mean, the channel's growing, but it's like so slow. I mean, it's just like, oh my Lord, this is so slow. We're almost at the, in January, on January 22nd of next year, that'll be the 4-year mark. So I thought I would have long since been at 100K subscribers, but it's just like, it's supposed to be kind of exponential and not linear, but for me, it has been mostly linear, right? It's just not, it's just super slow. And it was starting to pick up in August. And then I think my last 2 videos are like, haven't done as well. Don't know why, but it was the Frater Eleutheria videos. I mean, they're doing fine. Like, if a video gets over 1,000 views, it's an okay video. Like, it did okay. If it gets under 1,000 views for my channel, it's a failure. And if it gets, you know, I only have a handful of like views over 10,000. No, maybe more than a handful. No, I probably only have like 3 or 4 videos over, actually over 10,000, but less than 100,000. And I only have 1 video that's close to 200,000. That's it. That's it. Yep, they have. Yeah, I think Dick Algeier has a video out there. So for sure. They're seeing all sorts of crazy stuff. But Daz, I think, caution that they might also just be picking up the collective conscious, the collective unconscious. Basically, he didn't frame it that way, but like everybody else's notions that they're aliens and this and that, because they saw some weird stuff apparently. Yeah, I don't think Tom Cruise would appear on my show, but I would love to get him to talk about UFOs and consciousness. Although I might have a way to get to him, maybe, but I don't think they would let that happen. He's too high profile, not enough. My channel's too small. What else? Yeah, what's going on with Richard Grieco, man? I think Fast Mama Jama. What's going on with Richard Grieco? Is he going to come on or what? And talk about Hollywood and like all that craziness there. Oh, it's already in process. It's a weird one because it's like a shared episode. So I'm gonna have him on. So it's like he interviews me, and then I interview him, and it's all in one video. So people are gonna be pissed, like who don't know me, are gonna be pissed off at me for the first half. There's like, who's this clown? I don't like. I came here for Dick Algeier. Why do I need to listen to this clown? So you might not know him, huh? Okay. What if you did know him? Try to get him on the show. he was in 21 Jump Street. He was also in One Night at the Roxbury, because the two comedians, like Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan, are basically like patterning their ridiculous characters off of him. Yeah, 21 Jump Street. Yep. All right, Spider Bite. Good night or good day, because it's probably just starting your day. Okay. Chris Ian, to bet a dead horse Cliff High is in really good with FFG. Should have him on Endless Things to Discuss. Yeah, he's an acquired taste though. He'll say some like stuff that's a little bit on the edge. But yeah, eventually I should be able to get him on. Yeah, yeah. All right, everyone. I think now it's for me to call it a wrap so I can get other stuff done. So, good night. God bless. And thank you for following the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you especially subscribe if you already think you're subscribed. Tom with all roads lead to Epstein. Maybe. All right. Good night, everyone.
Breaking news. Breaking news.